Hi, season's greeting. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Everything, everybody. Welcome to the last episode of From Adversity to Awakening for 2025. I am so happy to be here with you. It's the holiday season, as you can see, and I've been partying it up and having fun with friends and family, and I hope you have been too, and just celebrating this incredible life, celebrating all of our abundance, and celebrating the life force that we have within us that shows up every day for us to get up and do another day. Okay, well, what I want to talk about today is I'm interviewing myself on my recent trip to Kenya, Africa. So, some of you may and others of you may not know that I am now a leading director in an organization called the Little People of Africa Foundation. And my friend Jakim, who is a little person from Kenya, I met him about 8 years ago. He now lives in the United States and he is a U.S. citizen. And he invited me to come on board to help with getting them the 501(c)(3) and getting a website and getting the donations online automated. And I'm happy to say that I have been able to support them. And just this a couple days ago, we got our final thumbs up on tax exempt status. So, any of you who are moved to donate, you can go to lpafrica.org and you can add /donate if you'd like. Otherwise, there are donation buttons there. Anyway, we'd love to have anybody who feels drawn to donate to that cause. So let me tell you about the event that I went to Kenya for. So the last couple of years, Jakim he's the president of Little People of not Africa, Kenya. And he had a vision to create a foundation that would have an outreach as far as all of the countries in Africa eventually, starting with Kenya and surrounding countries, to bring medical support and to bring advocacy. So, little people in Africa are very marginalized. They're mostly kept away. They don't have a professional life, most of them, and they're not engaging in a lot of the activities that you and I enjoy. So, our mission, and also many of them need medical support. So, you may or may not know that most little people, by the time they're probably 20 years old, have had at least one or two surgeries. And many of the little people in Africa are short statured because of the lack of pituitary hormone, which now can be fixed through modern medicine and hormone replacement. So, and those therapies are not being given to the little people in Africa on a big scale. I think some of the more wealthy ones may be able to obtain that, but in general, that's not the case. So our plan is, well, anyway, we had an event on November 15th, celebrating Dwarf Awareness Day. In October, is Diversity Awareness Month, and the little people have a big celebration then, but we had to push the date back a couple weeks because the Prime Minister died just at the time when we were going to have the event, and we needed media and all that to pay attention to us. So anyway, I went down there for November 15th. We had a big event, and here is what happened. We had, imagine this, 200 African little people marching through the streets of Nairobi with signs, big signs on sticks that said things like small body, big spirit, good things come in small packages, I can do it, and all those kinds of, aphorisms about how amazing little people are and can be. And we also had a huge banner, the size of a very large tablecloth. And we also had with us an ambassador from the Kenyan government. His name is, I can't remember right now, but anyway, he's an albino. And Jakim and him were friends many years ago when Isaac is his first name, was also heading up an organization for people that had I don't know if it's a disability of being albino, and they met in that context. And now this guy is written into government, and he is helping us with getting government support for our big goal, the mission of Little People of Africa Foundation is to bring medical support and advocacy to the little people of Africa. I think I said that a minute ago, but anyway, if you missed it or if you want a little reminder, there it is. So we went to talk to him about getting hospitals on board to help us to getting subsidizing from the government for the foundation, and also for leading this march that we had through the streets of Nairobi with all the little people, and we had a marching band, and it was amazing. I'm going to try and get a video put in here that'll give you a clip of what our experience was. And it was truly a really life-changing event for me. And what was so transformative about it was to see what happened when the little people came into a position of being in a place of empowerment. So as we walked through the street, Isaac was chanting mantras like, and we will demand equal rights for little people in the country of Kenya, and we will bring the rights to all the people with disabilities, and sort of like on and on with all this kind of stuff. And the people were chanting and they were singing to the songs. And what I noticed was that there was an incredible upliftment of heart, an incredible opening of hearts, and people were just beaming with their smiles, and people were connecting in a very, very beautiful way. And people, I think, were feeling really proud of their position and of their situation in their life. So it was when I was walking through the streets, I was like looking around me, and I was just like tears were running down my face because I was so moved by the joy that I experienced in that, being in that group of people and being in that movement of stating our value, of shouting out for our rights, of, words of empowerment, words of I matter, and all of that. And also just the connectedness, and the music was helping to connect everyone, and the singing and the marching. It was just breathtaking and so touching in my heart. And it really, what I came home with from that is that it wasn't really that big of a deal to organize the march. I mean, yeah, a couple of weeks of effort, and, Jakeem and his team, and making the signs, and then we all had on matching t-shirts and getting the marching band and all that stuff. That wasn't a big deal, but um, what it brought to that community, and the sense of empowerment and upliftment that they felt, even for only a moment, will give them support, will give them nurturance, will give them assurance and reassurance, will give them a closer sense of community, all of these things that people need to thrive in their lives. So if there's anywhere in your life where you can contribute to bring people together, to empower them, to empower their voice, for allowing them to know that they really matter, and that their voice matters, and that their needs matter, and that they can get met. All of this is just so empowering for the human spirit. So that's my biggest takeaway from there. Also, after the event, Jakeem was very amazing in bringing me to have many experiences of Kenya. The first thing that we did was we went to his mother's house, who lives up in his mother's farm, I should say. She has about 2 or 3 acres up in the hills, about an hour and a half outside of Nairobi. And it is a true farm. Living off the land. Like every corner of it is meticulously planted with the things that they use. She's got tons of avocado trees, mango trees. Of course, it's the tropics there. Not so much coconut trees, but I think there were a few, and lots of beans and lots of vegetables. And it was just amazing. And then she has a river nearby where she can get her water, but Jakim, I mean, now they have a pump that brings the water from the river, but Jakim told me that when he was a boy, and he's 36 now, so 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, when he'd come home from school, his job was to bring water from the river up into the house. So very simple living, and the kitchen was about the size of, I don't know, a walk-in closet, dirt floor, fireplace on the ground, and no tables. It was very simple. And the sleeping arrangement, kind of same thing. However, Jakim has been very prosperous here in America, and he's been building a beautiful cement house for his mother that will have tile floors and running water and an indoor stove and all that kind of stuff. So, yay for Jakim, and yay for any person who puts themselves in a difficult, challenging situation to help those that they love. I mean, this is an amazing example of that. So, totally inspired by him, and totally inspired by the mother in the community that she lives there with her brother and his family and some other close friends. And it's just amazing about happiness from within. That was my big transformative moment there, is just seeing how simply they live. I mean, we're talking simple. Like, yeah, they have phones, but I don't know about, I was there in the daytime, so I don't even know. I'm sure they have a little bit of electricity, but not much. And the running water is a spigot, like not even in the kitchen. So it's super simple. And I was just amazed at not only the joy that the people had, but the generosity. Came there with like 10 or 15 people, and Jakim's mom had a big plate of food for everybody. It was just not plate, dishes, and everybody just ate to their heart's content. And also the inner peace that the people that I observed there had. I could feel that they were content with their life and not just constantly scrambling to move to the next thing or get past this moment to the next surprise or excitement or whatever, that they were content right in the moment. They connected in a very deep way, where his mother was so generous and just lavished me with gifts. Anyway, it was so wonderful. The next day, we went to the Nairobi National Park, and I got to delight in the diversity of creation. I mean, these animals are amazing. And every time I saw them, my heart just was so uplifted. And that was so beautiful to see that my heart is so open that I could experience awe and wonder and delight when viewing these beautiful zebras and the rhinos and the lions and the gazelles and just all the animals. We saw them all there except for the elephants, which aren't at that park. And we had a just amazing diversity is this amazing thing. And it was such a great sort of like, it's like a concentrated form of celebrating diversity, because the diversity there is so amazing because they have all these animals and they're all living in harmony together. So, another beautiful takeaway, you know, how can we allow ourselves and celebrate our uniqueness and our differences and still find a commonality and a way to live together in harmony? And after that, we went to Mombasa. It was awful. The downside of the trip was the 8 hour night ride on a bus and a road that was like being inside of a popcorn popper the entire time. Awful experience. But anyway, we survived and got to Mombasa and enjoyed a couple days by the sea and had some R&R with other friends on the team of the Little People Foundation. And it for me was just a great experience of being surrounded by people of like mind and like heart, and people that were just kind of chill and relaxing and enjoying the ocean and enjoying good food together, enjoying each other's company, and taking time to relax and rejuvenate. Another important message for the end of the year, right? So, yeah, we all have another, I don't know when you'll see this, but in this new year time to little suggestion to take some time to not only relax and rejuvenate, but also reflect. Reflect on the blessings of the year. Reflect on the blessings of waking up each morning with a healthy body. Reflect on the blessings of, the countless blessings that you have. And to also dream in your heart for reflect on what you want to create in this year. What kind of experiences, what kind of connection, what kind of things do you want to create? So, anyway, those are some of my amazing takeaways from my experience in Kenya. And I wish you all a very happy holiday season. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, and happy everything. Yeah, to just have that state of happiness in your heart. And yesterday was a big experience. I don't know if any of you were able to join in on the World Global Meditation with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, but December 21st is now the official Global Meditation Day. And one more little report of happy news is that in the UN on Friday this past week, December 19th, there was an entire hour and a half devoted to the the need, the impact, the benefits, and the actual experience of meditation. And about six different delegates got up and talked about the different benefits of meditation for the body, for the mind, for mental hygiene, for well being, for bringing down violence in communities, and for overall world peace. It was an incredible experience. I'll add a link to the video if it's available. You all might enjoy watching that. So, thank you for tuning in. Continue to find the awakening in the celebration and the joy that is buried beneath all of the adversity in your life, and continue to shine the light of your beautiful self as you go forth into the new year. That's all for now. And I look forward to seeing you in 2026.